Hey you, how's it going? So on Saturday it was 6 months to the day that I had my gender reassignment surgery, and I thought I would give you a half-year update since it's been half a year. How has it been half a year since I had surgery? That's incredible. You might have seen my gender reassignment surgery vlog. It documented the week that I spent in hospital, including the day before, because that directly affected what happened whilst I was in hospital, so I thought that would be a good time to start the vlog. So what has been happening in the 6 months that has transpired since then? When I was discharged from Spire Methley Park Hospital, I had a catheter in for 2 weeks because that meant the swelling would be able to go down so that when I went to the toilet, I would be able to wee normally as opposed to it going psh everywhere. Nice. And so for about maybe 4 weeks afterwards, I just kind of spent most of my life just kind of laying and around the house, sitting down, and if I did go out, it was to the end of the road at my mum's house, because that was as far as I could go without being absolutely knackered. And that was also getting coffee from work, because we make good coffee, very good coffee. It took me about just over a month to actually gain enough strength and energy to actually go further than that. It was about 6 to 8 weeks when I went for a follow-up appointment with the surgeon, where he told me that my recovery was going to plan and I could start dilating. Though at this point I did still have quite some amount of swelling, which is perfectly normal. I had just had major surgery. So I started dilating. I'm going to talk about dilating in a TransTalk video, so not going to talk about it that much, but you know, that's when I started dilating, which was interesting. Around this time as well, I was also taking ibuprofen and paracetamol very, very regularly because I was still feeling quite a lot of discomfort physically from the operation. It made sense to keep taking them, although I did try and gradually wean myself off of them, and then everything sort of went smoothly from there, although there were a few hiccups along the way. For example, at the start of December, I mentioned it at the end of a Vlogmas video, I'd had something of a hiccup at work, and yeah, it kind of scared me because I thought maybe I'd done something wrong in my recovery. So I went back on painkillers again and it disappeared, and it hasn't really reappeared since. So then I had my follow-up appointment with the surgeon after about 5 months. Everything was on track and going along smoothly. There wasn't really much to say other than he kept recommending that I buy a vaginal douche to help with cleaning, so I did. He did note that there was still a little bit more swelling, but it's mostly internal now and kind of understandable. He did also give me another appointment for the summer, where I will more than likely be permanently discharged, which will be great because then I'll be all fine and dandy. And so just some of my own points about what's happened. Really, really happy with the results so far. Like I mentioned this to my friend the other day. I see it and I still grin my face off because I look down and I can see myself for once. And after 21 years of not seeing myself when I'm looking in the mirror, I can just be happy. I remember when I was first starting out, coming out as trans, and people were saying to me, you'll never have a sensation down there if you go through surgery. And let me tell you, you were wrong. There's definitely sensation down there, can confirm. So I don't really have any regrets about the surgery other than not being able to get it sooner, but that wasn't really my fault. Definitely not feeling any regrets about having it because I'm so more confident in myself, I feel. I feel other people notice that too. I had something in between my legs that shouldn't have been there. And then the other day, for example, I was walking down a street and just became aware of how different it actually feels to be walking and to not feel something there. And it was great. Massive grin on my face. So, as I say, 6 months since surgery, nearly completely recovered. Like, my recovery time's over. Also going to be making a TransTalk video on dilation, so if you have any questions about that, like what the fuck is dilation, leave them in the comments below and I shall answer them in the TransTalk video that I'm making. I hope you've enjoyed this video, or at least found it informative. Subscribe if you haven't already. I've been Ruby Price, and I shall see you next time. Adios. Bye.